in slow motion, we're just floating in slow so ocean free, we're just floating it all so wild.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Shannon Miller, and I'm with Miss Jamie Runco of Cleaning Business Life, and we're starting a new segmented series called March to a Million, and we want to thank Miss Holly Moore from Maids and More for giving us this brilliant idea. We're just kind of taking the ball and running with it, and we wanted to give you what it's like to be in the messy middle and what it's like to start from scratch and what it's like to do like real life stuff. Yes, we talk about experiences. We both share a lot of stories, but we thought that we would just bring you guys along on this journey. So we'll be doing 2 of these a month for until the end of the year. And Jamie, why don't you fill us in on your take?
Sure, no problem, because right now I am in the thick of it. We both thought this was a great idea. Again, like Shannon just said, we got Holly Moore. I talked to her and it just clicked for me one day. And I'm like, that is almost every one of our dreams. I, you know, a million is not that far off. I know everybody's like, gosh, no, don't come at me. Some of you are still trying to get to 100,000, but I remember what that looked like and how that was. So now I am over those humps, and now I want to show you what my messiness that I am in, and I want to take you guys super along with me and show you what has been working, what I've been failing at. Let me tell you, I've told Shannon, we haven't even really talked because I've
She's
been
been too busy.
so my no I have stepped into a completely different season, not only in my life, but in my business. If you guys see me, I am dressed different. Just my mind shift has stepped over to from just a cleaning business owner, and not just a cleaning business owner, but a cleaning business owner to I'm stepping into a role of a CEO. And am I scared? Fuck yes, I am. I am scared to death, but I know that there's so many people that have their hands in this, helping me along the way, holding me accountable. There's no reason why we shouldn't fail. I might take a little longer to get to this March to a million, but it is starting to implement. And I want to show you guys some things like what we are working on. I literally have roadmaps that I am working on and for those that are just listening, these are literally my above all cleaning I forgot to tell you guys, I became an LLC. Yay! Okay, so that's one thing. So this month is August, and we're doing August Transition Command Center. I am transitioning and literally check marking things off of my own roadmap that I mapped out. I'm messy. This is my brain dump, but I'm actually, if you can see this, you can literally see that I'm starting to scratching things off. But I also have a whiteboard that I want to share with you guys. And it's literally on a whiteboard that's facing me that I see every day. And these are just some of the things that I implement.
And this is for obviously a to do, but it's more for visualization as well.
It's my motivation. It's my why. It's my gotta figure those things out. And whenever you hear people say stuff like systems, and I never understood what the hell that meant. I'm like, what systems? Or what about core values? Like, and hiring based on that. I was just like taking somebody else's core values and was like, there they are. That's good for me. No, I ended up revamping, redoing. We'll do another episode on something like that. Right now, this is just showing you guys the start of March to a Million. But this is my whiteboard. Can you see this? If you're looking, I have our mission statement on there. I literally have March to a Million, our growth engine. What I need to focus on every week, which is Monday. Mondays are commercial outreaches. Tuesdays, Google Business Profile Day, uploading, reaching out to other business owners. Wednesday is a referral and appreciation. Thursday, I have a whole thing, and this might not look the
Here,
same
don't
for
stop.
you.
Let's get Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Thursday is education and building trust day. Fridays is reviews and collaborations. Saturday is job showcase. That's for Sarah. I have her a whole book on what my vision is and how she can best implement that over on my business page. And I've literally I've hired her and she's taken it and ran as my, unwilling and unknowing, she's become my blogger and my SEO and me explaining stuff. And that is like the long-term goal. And so she has her own playbook. Sunday is called Community Connection. I also have Marketing Sunday. The reason why I picked Sunday for marketing is there's only so many people in our area. Again, I'm very rural. And some of these groups will only allow you, the biggest one is the mom group, the one and only mom group in here. And you're only allowed to market your business or self promo on Sunday there. So that's why I was like, well, we'll just get at it and just start going down the list. But the thing is I am still doing it all myself. I'm implementing it, but I'm making
So tell
my
me
binders.
how you came. Let's finish up this little.
Yeah.
How you came up with your calendar of things to do. How did you conceptualize? How did you come up with marketing Sundays and the thing for Sarah on Saturdays? What did you do? Did you just throw tickets in a hat and said, I'm doing this to this day? Or
No, actually, it started because of Marketing Sunday. I was like, okay, I'm gonna call this Marketing Sunday. And yeah, I was like, and I'm like, I remember Holly, she told me that it was a bunch of micro plays. You have to set goals, right? And then you need to fill in like, okay, how are we going to actually implement this and feel like how are we going to achieve that goal? So with that, I was like, you know what? On Mondays, I reach out to 5 commercial companies. Whether that's just like, hey, I find out who the person is that I need to email and I email them introducing who I am, or I go to networking events. When is that? Whenever I can. I go to networking events whenever I can so that I can just talk to other business owners. I'm looking into BNI. There is a new chapter here, which are some people that I actually mush well with versus another chapter. And they've taken me under like their wing with open arms. And I haven't even had to pay for anything yet. So thank you for that. But that's how that all began. And I was just thinking, when Holly told me you have to have a goal and then you have to make, how are you going to achieve that goal? So I started laying out. I mean, like, look at the amount of sticky notes that I have going around me. We have everything. I got really serious about it. I just really got serious about it. And it all also started whenever I got this office, the storefront. It changed everything for me. And
The storefront
that,
was a big step. I remember how apprehensive you were about everything that went along with it. But you had also been looking for quite some time for a brick and mortar because you wanted to get out of the storage unit, correct?
yeah, yeah. I didn't even have a garage or a house to run it out of. I had to run it. We literally ran out of a storage unit for years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Started with a small storage unit, then expanded to a bigger one. I think you went
Yeah, I
like
kept
twice,
going.
right?
But and I documented that too. If you look in past previous posts, very long time ago, you'll see that I document it. And every step of the way has been exciting, a little nerve-wracking. I'm not going to say this is a cakewalk because it definitely is not. And trying to get all of this out of your head and into something so that I'm not the only one doing this is really hard. So knowing when to delegate and offload, believe it or not, Chris, shout out to Chris. He is my employee. And he is actually, he's right. He's like, let's grow it. So I was like, I became one of my right hand man. I am getting to where I need an office person.
Right. And you're that was a first for you with Chris. Like before, she just had employees and they would come and go. And Chris is like, I want to partner with you, not as in partner and be a business partner. He wanted to help grow because he saw the potential of what Jamie was creating.
Right. Right. No, and it was, yeah, it was a great partnership. Let's put it that way. And I never looked at, and no offense, but it's more women dominated business, right? Not a whole lot of people. I know that he gets a little bit of slack over at his job about being a male at Above All Cleaning. And he's like, no, man, you don't get it. I do all the commercial stuff. So, but whenever it comes to, I'm starting to think, okay, I can start delegating payroll. Payroll is going to be huge. And it's probably one of the more easier things right now that is to learn. So, yeah, he sees the potential in it. And he wants to grow with it and he wants to help grow this business. And they all do. All of my employees do. And that's one of my core values. If you want to grow, you want to not just grow this business, but you want to grow as a person and an individual. Because if not, then you just we're not the right fit for you, right?
Right. But I think it's awesome because in the past she only legitimately didn't have anyone who was interested in helping her grow, and I think Chris is really going to take the commercial aspect of her business and build it into bigger than it already is. And you can see the path because Jamie is really rural. There's opportunity in other markets, so we're gonna, she's gonna expand. Probably in 2027. I'm guessing. We had talked about it in the past. I'm not throwing it. I don't want to throw you under the bus when I say, well, she's going to do this and, blah, what? I'm not ready.
Yeah.
But
you didn't do it. No.
Yeah. Then there's pressure, right? I said it on the podcast. So there's those types of moments. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of structure that Jamie put in place. She had structure, but she outgrew the structure, so now she's making more structure. And this time, that structure is getting it out of her head and onto a physical entity, whether it's and or digital and on paper. Everybody is using AI for those tools, so hopefully you are too. And then you're starting to format things so that you have what happens when it snows and we're on a 2 hour delay. What does my cleaning tech do if they're going to be late? What happens if I get a flat tire? What happens if we find a dead body? We talked about that in a podcast episode down in Phoenix. There's a lot of what to do if this, what to do if that, and it's because we've kind of come across these little things and we're starting to get them and make them into SOPs. I spoke to another person who's also in the messy middle as well, and it's always exciting for me to see everyone grow. It's I feel privileged to be part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're a huge part of the process. I mean, this is absolutely huge. And I'm sure that you resonate with so many people out there because you've been here. You've been $1 million cleaning company. You've been there, and didn't you sell, and then you got into this, and so
Timing
what?
is all relative. You have to look about, when someone first, and I had an unusual selling experience. It's not the traditional thing that everyone does now, but you have to remember I was in a different place in my life. My brother was dying from early onset Parkinson's. I had a lot going on personally. I had the theft of $372,000 from a 5-year employee and my own cousin. I had a lot of things in the air. And when that person approached me, and we won't get into all the nitty gritty parts, I'll probably do a whole episode just on this. But when that person approached me, I just started laughing. I hung up the phone on him. I was just like, screw off.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
not
off.
interested. Blood, sweat, and tears here. I'm not interested in the penny, your paltry offer. When you come up with some real money, let me know. And I think it took like 4 or 5 offers. And then I was like, my brother was dying. I was like, I just needed to have some relief from something.
Upload.
And, I wanted to be there in the end with him. And that's what my mom and I were there for. At the very end, we were with him. I didn't get to be with him at the very, very end, obviously, because they put him in the puff. So he was contained in the unit, the psych ward, and then they pumped him full of drugs and he passed. But yeah, it just was an interesting selling experience compared to others. And the selling experience is more frequent now. We just talked to someone in an interview who is doing a lot of acquisition. I spoke to another person, I believe last week, who also does a lot of acquisition, both
Right.
on separate coasts. So I see that this is how people are going to start to grow as well. And maybe we have a whole episode on acquisition and what that's like.
I think that's a great idea too. I think I am very interested in that
Mm-hmm.
because every place, every area, you guys, we hear it all the time. Every place is saturated with people coming out of the woodwork and charging $15 for a whole house or something, or it's everywhere. It's not just specific to your area. I hear a lot too about hiring. Never hire again. You can't. You can only take on so much. You're stuck at 50 clients, and that's really pushing it. I mean, if you can get 50 clients for yourself and your business, awesome. But I didn't want to be stuck like that. I mean, the second that I got into here, I knew instantly. I was like, there is something to this, and I think I want to be big. And you just I don't know, as we've grown through with this through the podcast, it just kind of morphed into, well, let's just showcase of my wins and losses
Mm-hmm.
in real time while, Shannon was coaching me. And then she wasn't, and then we just became really like business besties. And we work really well together, and it's because I can talk to, she's my tribe. So I can talk to somebody constantly and bounce ideas off of, and she never tells me, "Oh, that's silly," or "What
I do
about
say no
this?"
a
Or
lot. Like, no.
yes, well, she'll steer the direction. She don't say no, but she does steer the direction, and like, well, maybe this way.
You can do what you want, but I wouldn't do it. I would do it this way. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, and I made a post maybe a week or two ago talking about build your business or build your systems for your business for tomorrow, meaning build your, do it now.
mhm.
Do it right now. Don't wait till you're years down the road like I am, where you're steering the plane and trying to build it as you're up in the air right now, flying this plane, and you're like, here, let's patch this, let's patch that. I really had to slow down and start building this differently, brick by brick, and made some hard decisions, not decisions, but I did a lot of hard talks with my team. Right here is a mandatory meeting list that I had to go over. And, but I have my team also buying into this idea, you know.
You have to have the buy-in from everybody, whether you think you do or not. The only way to be successful is to have your tribe and collaborate with others. And it's super important that you surround yourself with your circle of influence, whoever that is. And everybody has a different circle of influence. And then that circle of influence actually changes over time. Then, the circle of influence becomes a different circle of influence, right?
Right.
So those are the dynamics of what you should be thinking about if you really want to grow and scale. If you don't want to grow and scale, I still love you. Jamie still loves
Oh,
you. It doesn't
yeah.
bother us either way what you decide to do, because this industry, as you know, and I've spoken about this 101 times, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit more. Everybody is stepping into the cleaning industry because it's a low threshold to buy in and they think it's going to be easy. And we were just interviewing someone and he was reminding us that 52% of the cleaning business owners that start off fail within the first, what did he say, 5 years?
5 years.
First 5 years. So you don't want to be a statistic, you want to be the person who succeeds. So we thought it would be great to share our insights on the March to a Million to get Jamie up to $1 million. So there's a lot of little baby steps we're going to start to implement that you're going to hear about, and I'm super excited to share with you. And I think the timing's right on this one.
Yeah. It just became it's, I don't know what happened. There was a shift in my mind. I don't know. I really, there was never one moment where it was like, oh, there it was. It was little bitty steps. And I think if I look back on it, I really believe it's whenever I got this office and it was like I got excited
It
to go
triggered
to
something in
work.
her. It's changed
Yeah,
her
it was,
immensely.
I am drooling, like fangs coming out, like I got this. A totally different season in business in my life. Yeah, and I'm an open book to a point. To a point, right?
She says
I
they don't
paid
want
a
to hear about
lot
the
of
dirty stuff.
Right. Well, I paid a lot of money to be able to get here.
Right.
And that the money is the money that I put out for this, it has come back to me times three. Times three. Every time, and it's something that I believe that I will always have.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the same person or not, I don't know. But
Well, you need
and
different
there's
coaches
nothing
for
wrong with
different
that.
phases. Definitely.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's I just, there you once you get that mindset of, especially with coaching, and realize how much it helps, how much it makes you into a room with your people, and you can talk about these kinds of things with other people that are going through the same thing that you are right then and there in your business. It is I don't think I'll ever not have a coach. And just for different areas too, you know,
Definitely.
just different areas.
And I have found that, and we see this a lot in our industry, and we see it in other industries, is people talk about when they made it, right? They don't say anything, and they're like, I'm successful. And then, then they come all over social media, like, I'm successful, and they show, like, all this thing, but
Yeah.
they don't show you the messy middle. That's what we're going to show you in this series, is all of the, like, twists and turns and the ups and downs, and, like, oh my gosh, I blundered it, or we pivoted this way because we learned this type of thing. And, a lot of success stories are edited after the fact. The timeline changes. They don't tell you all the nitty gritty stuff, and we're gonna tell you, and we're gonna share with you all the nitty gritty.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you just the past 2 days, not today, but as soon as we get off of this, I'm right back at it. The past 2 days have been, I'm spent. And I told Erica, Erica Painter with my virtual bookkeeper or my VB, whatever.
I think you're right.
Yeah, my VB, my VBK.
She has an interview in the podcast, so you guys can look her up.
Yeah, yes. I actually hired her from that just as my bookkeeper, but now she is more like a CFO, a fractional CFO coach with some mapping, and we're implementing so much because I didn't understand my numbers. I did not understand what KPIs and what I needed to be tracking. And you guys, there's a lot to track. Well, the past 2 days, back to my story, the past 2 days, I have been knee deep, neck deep in doing a huge monumental change from a personal, like my local bank. I am changing over to banks, the whole business using the profit first method. And
Which is a
with
huge
that,
transition, and it was scary. I made
I
her go first.
screenshot it. I was looking at all these accounts. It's very scary to somebody has like, you feel like you're blindfolded and you're like, I'm trusting you with everything right now. I'm trusting, and I keep telling Erica, I'm really trusting the process. She said, trust the process. I promise you, trust the process. I'm going to get emotional. So, but with changing banks, you got to change everything. All those auto pays and things that you forgot about, the subscriptions, things bouncing, re-sign these documents, DocuSign, oh, everything isn't uploading correctly. And am I forgetting anything? Am I forgetting anything? And it's just, I wanted to throw my phone because while that's going on, I still have a company to run. I still have clients that want services. I still have employees calling, you know, I have all that still every day doing a check-in. I wanted to throw my phone yesterday. Um, and I told her I was absolutely mentally spent. This was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I'm done for today. And she goes, you know what? Walk away.
And
We'll talk tomorrow.
small setbacks can feel huge too when you're going through the messy middle.
Really, really messy. You I remember in the beginning, whenever we were working together, Shannon, that I always felt like I was up in New York on a tight wire, trying to cross all these huge buildings with this pole holding, and it's like, please don't look down. And you're balancing, and you have some wind blowing, and you're trying to maintain your balance walking across that tightrope. And that's kind of how it feels a little bit, but so much more confidence. Even though it's hard, it's like I know this is going to pay off in about 6 months. I'm going to see some sort of result. Maybe it don't feel like it right now, but if I keep working it, I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the amount of people that are holding me accountable, and they're not telling me what to do or how to do it. At the end of the day, am making the decisions and I am implementing what I'm learning. And that's huge. A lot of people take in the information and they just sit there with it. We call it analysis paralysis. You'll analyze it over and over and you never implement it. You got to stop. Don't read another book. Don't listen to another podcast. What you have learned, stop and take it and implement it, the little golden nuggets that you got out of each thing. Otherwise, you just get kind of stuck implementing or not implementing.
And I think a lot of people talk about experimentation. You get to a certain point in your business, and it's like the wild, wild west in a little bit of a way where, like, you're experimenting. You're like, well, this worked, and then you had to tweak it, and then it no longer works. But if you add in this third piece over here, now it works again. And there's this constant tweaking that we do as entrepreneurs and cleaning business owners that are necessary as our industry grows and evolves. For example, with the podcast growth, we've changed our cover. You no longer see Jamie and me. We see, a goal to 150K downloads. And that's been a goal of ours for a while. Hopefully we'll make it by the end of the year. I'm pretty sure. I looked at the numbers the other day. It looks like we're right on track. So
Yeah.
and it's amazing to me to think that we just took this little conversation that we were having, and now, we have this. We have 400 and I think it was like 4,824 different cities all over the world have listened to the podcast. We have, I don't know how many different towns and countries. There's anywhere from like 190 different countries have all plugged in to the Cleaning Business Life podcast. I'm like, wow.
And you guys, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. That
We
is,
see you.
and it fuels me. It's like, okay, maybe at first I thought nobody would be interested in anything that I was saying, especially in the beginning whenever I just go off on my tangents and talk, but it worked. And you've probably watched me evolve a little bit and got a little more, not so much a squirrel, and off to the races I go. But thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I hope that if you guys find some value of it, continue to share this with people so that it can reach more cleaning business owners. What is the quote about holding the information to yourself?
Gatekeeping?
Yeah, more like gatekeeping. Don't gatekeep. There's enough room for every one of us. I was looking at the statistics for cleaning businesses in my area. Again, right? There's a couple of us. There's one that I know for sure that's doing well over $1 million in my rural area. Plus all the micros, plus me, plus I know other bigger businesses than I am. We're all making the money. We're doing it. There's enough to go around. That's what I'm trying to say. There's enough to go around.
I think it's fantastic that your area, as excluded as it is from the rest of the population, is still able to incrementally increase and provide jobs for people. And so that tells you, if Jamie can do it in her market, you guys can do it as well. We often hear when we're talking to people, I can't do that, I live in a small town. We both live in a small town. Jamie has less of a population than I do because my town and area has grown exponentially since COVID. So we don't really have all the answers to everything, but we thought it would be fun to invite you guys along and experience a lot of our wins, maybe some blunders, more of our wins. Hopefully we have more wins than blunders. And and some of the predictions will be wrong, I would imagine. Some of it we're going to be like, yeah, and then we do it and we're like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah, we might be backpedaling a couple of times, but like this is live.
Right. But that's the whole point of the March to the Millions. And that's what we refer to when we're talking about the messy middle, because Jamie's in the messy middle. I'm working on a large project, which we will talk about on another episode. And then you have to ask yourself, well, what would happen if everything worked? What if my crazy idea
What if?
works? Right? How could you not want to make it, right? Everybody's in the cleaning industry. There's so many different types. And I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, gosh, there's remote models. I think of Chris Schwab and how he ran out of it way before anybody else. He operated out of
Okay.
Japan. He's like, I'm in love with this woman. I am out of here. She lives in Japan. He left. And
I love it.
it ran by itself. Is it in Maryland or DC? I can't remember. Chris, you'll have to remind me. We'll have to
Washington.
reconnect. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that can create a lot more possibilities for you to create assets so that you have the income to provide yourself with financial freedom in the cleaning industry. And we don't want you guys to miss out because you got frustrated or someone gave you misinformation and now you don't feel like you can move forward. When we all make mistakes. Trust me, my mistakes are just bigger because I experiment more. I've done a lot of things that works, things that didn't work. I've had a lot of things happen to me. That's why I have so many stories. But that's why we wanted to invite you to what this is for.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to share. Yeah, the past, I don't know, this has been going on for the past couple of months now. I guess whenever I first started talking to Holly about it, and she's kind of the little cheerleader in the back of you got this, you got this. She'll drop a message every now and again. Thank you so much for that, Holly. If you ever listen to this, she's probably really busy with CleanCon right now. Um,
I
and we
really appreciate Holly. I've never met a more humble individual in this industry, and I absolutely love how gracious she was with her information and how they took the time to actually give us all the info, not once but twice in a short
Yeah,
amount of time. By the way, can you do this?
the
So,
most down to earth person ever.
mhm.
And she just still she checks in on me, you guys. That's what blows my mind. And just like you said, just a very down to earth person.
So there will be a little bit of a difference between Cleaning Business Life. So we'll still have the same format. We'll still do the same Halloween stories. We'll still do the case studies and the interviews with industry leaders. But we're really excited to have this March to a Million, and you get to see it in real life. So Cleaning Business Life is going to be mostly teaching, frameworks, lessons already learned, and then March to a Million will be decisions in real time, real honest conversations, no guarantee of success, and behind the scenes of building. That way, when you're listening and you're out working, you can go, well, I think that would work for my business. And if you have a success, reach out. We'd love to hear. If you had a blender and say, I don't think it would work this way, but I think it would work that way, we want to hear. We're always available to hear insight in the industry because it's always interesting to see where we're going. It's huge. I think they estimate that the cleaning industry alone in the next year's, what was it, $587 million or something like that? It was a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So again, it's lot of room for growth, a lot of room for there's just a lot of room in this area.
So we're going to share our wins, our mistakes, or pivots from the mistakes. I know there's a better word than mistakes that I just can't articulate at the moment. Strategy sessions that we've done, big decisions or not big decisions, financial milestones if we make them, unexpected problems, celebrations. Obviously, we want to always celebrate, and then some honest conversations.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
manufactured drama. I'm not about drama at all. Neither is Jamie.
No, we don't have time for it. I'm literally working on it's too much for any drama. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited
I'm
too.
excited.
So if you've ever wished you could watch someone build a business before they became successful, you have to tune into these 2 episodes. March to a Million. I can't wait to see what Jamie does with this. And we'll fill you guys in on more information as it comes along. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.